Ladies and gentlemen, Caravan fans, welcome to Barta Dowling Stadium here for our second game of the day. It's round one for the SEC playoffs. And, folks, we've got a good one here between St. John the Cross and St. Francis Xavier, the 2 seed versus the 7. The last time these two teams played, final score was 36-8. SFX won. I've got my buddy Nick here. He actually he played for SFX, so we've got a great game coming up. Right now, though, kickoff down on the field. That one, not a bad return. St. Francis will roll out here. Nick, welcome to the box, buddy. I know we just had Christos up here, man, but now we got you. You're a freshman here at Carmel, so
Yes,
you kind of just came off of playing grammar school football. For Christos and I, it's a little different, feels a lot more distant. What's something you can tell us about St. Francis Xavier's football team? Maybe something unique that you picked up while you played there.
You know, it was really interesting. You know, this is a really well-structured group of guys, right? They joined the SEC around 3 years ago, and they didn't win a game until the beginning of this year, actually. 0-18 in their time at the SEC.
Well, and your team here almost just picked up a touchdown early on. But 0-18, I mean, that's got to feel, was it a right move to join the SEC? Should we be in this conference? Should we go back to maybe what we were in before? But, I mean, look at the standings here. They're 6-1. They have one loss. I think that's an incredible showing for them. They are the 2 seed here in our bracket today, playing St. John the Cross next week. If they win, they will play at St. Lawrence on Sunday at 6 o'clock. But St. John the Cross is looking to upset their fellow team here, come away with the win, and it's all about the road to Marist, right? It's all about the road to that gold ball game. St. Francis and St. John the Cross have not played in one yet, so I think it would be awesome for SFX to get a chance to be on the big stage.
Definitely, and these guys have been working at this for so long. Most of these guys have been playing for since 5th, 6th grade, It's just a long way that these guys have come finally to get their chance at winning that Gold Cup.
Yeah. We're going to dive a little deeper now. It's 3rd down. Got 12 yards to go. That pass just a little wide by number 9 quarterback Quinn Carroll. Excuse me there. He's an 8th grader, attends St. Francis. So, Nick, you actually didn't attend St. Francis. You went somewhere else, which is something we see a lot from kids today. Schools kind of group together these guys for these teams. So where did you actually go to school?
I went to St. Mary's in Riverside. It's a small school, but they used to have their own independent team, but they grouped in with St. Francis in around 2019.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to punt this away. But talking about St. Mary's, there are 3 guys here on our roster that play for SFX. So I think size was definitely the biggest motivator there to join up with SFX. And, hey, it's worked out for him. I mentioned it already, but, man, 6-1 is just a great record to have in this competitive conference. Moving on, though, St. John the Cross is going to get their shot to be the first team to put some points on the board. All right. Here comes the St. John offense. Gonna drop back. You're going to see a lot of runs today by number 84 for St. John. That is Griffin Keenan. He's an 8th grader. Goes to St. John the Cross. Actually, every guy on the team goes there. So this is one of those teams today. St. John Fisher is probably the biggest one where all the guys go to both school and then play on the team together, and that's it. They don't pool from anywhere else. Yeah.
And I think definitely it's, especially we've seen recently more school closures, especially Catholic schools, it's harder for some of these teams to get guys in.
Absolutely.
But, a school like St. John of the Cross definitely has the ability to pull these guys.
Yeah. These 2 teams, I think it's pretty interesting how, like you mentioned, they're brand new to the SEC. Griffin Keenan, brought down right away in the backfield. That's going to be a big loss for him after a big game. So they went from 2nd and 3 to now 3rd and 9.
Definitely going to be hard for them to dig themselves out of this hole. But definitely the passing game is something that you got to look at for St. John of the Cross. They can have a very productive passing game. We just got to see what they're going to run here on 3rd and 9.
So besides that week 1 loss to St. Francis Xavier, St. John the Cross then went on to lose to MHR the next week. So they had kind of a rough go at it to start off the season. They are 2-5. They are the highest ranked 2-5 team. There's actually 4 of them in the conference. There's 3 teams that are 6-1 though. SFX is the highest ranked one out of that. Keenan gets the ball for the 3rd time in the row. Not enough for a first down, but that's definitely better than the run he just had. All right, 4th and 4 coming up. We're definitely going to want to see this one.
So definitely something that you're going to notice, especially in the grammar school, kind of football scene. There's a lot of two-way players, right? And there's a lot of guys that can play multiple positions, maybe better at one than the other. But that definitely affects how tired these guys get and how long they can be productive for. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Absolutely. We just saw it in the game. It started at noon between MHR and St. Catherine. If you weren't able to catch that one, MHR won 30-14. They will be playing next week at St. Lawrence in the 2nd round. Playing the winner of the Buckeyes and St. John Fisher, though, so this game doesn't really affect that one. We get a penalty here, big jump. And that's a first down for SFX. That's pretty big. 4th and 4 turns into 1st and 10 just like that.
That's exactly why. These guys got to stay focused. This entire defensive line starts on the offensive line, actually. So these guys are just going back to back, and it's kind of hard for them to, stay tuned in on, going from offense to defense so quickly. So it's going to be hard for St. Francis to get past these hard counts.
Definitely. Well, that's one mistake that is going to cost them a little bit here on defense. Number 20 for St. John the Cross, Mac Sella. He's in 7th grade. Gets a few yards there. 5 minutes remain in the first quarter. Time just flying by. These two teams have had 2 very quick possessions.
Definitely running plays, burning off the clock. Carroll is a good passer, but just St. Francis wasn't able to get that productive on that first drive. So we're going to have to see what they do this next drive if they get a stop here.
All right, we're back at it. In the backfield, not able to get any forward progression. 4 minutes, 25 seconds now remain. Time just winding down in the first. Nobody has scored yet. SFX had to punt it away there after receiving the ball from the opening kickoff. Their defense is looking pretty good here, Nick.
Definitely.
Yeah. I know you mentioned it, but these 4 guys on the D-line, they just had to go out there for a 3-and-out on the O-line. So they're going to be out there for a while. It's definitely exhausting.
There's definitely some something that goes on there. And there is some depth on the line for St. Francis, but it's going to be interesting to see how long these guys can stay in.
Here we go. St. John the Cross opts to pass it for the first time today. Wide open in the middle of the field. He's just gonna keep running.
Free.
That's number 82 for St. John the Cross. Jackson Garbars picks up 6 points early on for the team in green. House wide open. It's calling 6-0. We'll see if they kick it or run for it. Nick, that's something interesting. I know we'll look at this touchdown in a second, but in grammar school football, a kick is worth 2 points. Is St. Francis Xavier a team that opts to kick it or go for it?
Most of the time they would go for it. We do have a good kicker, but last year, most of the time we would go for it just to have a better chance of getting that because these points can cost you.
Right, yeah. If you decide to go for 1 instead of 2, it's, there's math to it, obviously. But, I mean, look at this play here.
Yeah, beautiful execution
right down the
by
middle.
the line and good blocks by the receivers, too.
Yeah. All right. 8-0. That kick is good. And SFX is going to be back out there to receive it for the second time today. All right, folks. 8-0 early on in the game. 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. SFX going to try and tie it up here.
Yeah, so definitely they're going to try to tie it up. And somebody I think everybody should be watching here is number 27, Liam Evans. He's a big running back recruit. He plays both ways, and we'll see what they're going to elect to do here.
They have to run for it. That's number 27 for SFX, Liam Evans, the 8th grader. Well, going to change up the play call. They got time. 3 minutes left in the first.
Going to be interesting to see what they do here. You know, sometimes I think that we could get ahead of ourselves, and coaches can just get too nervous and get jumpy and start calling plays that they don't need to.
Takes a snap, drops back. It's a pass. They called that same play on the opening drive. It didn't work then, and it doesn't work now. First time, he kind of overthrew him. There he under. Throw it at his back. 3rd and 14 coming up now.
Looks like they're going to bring out twins right here. Just give Carroll some more options for this passing game here.
Carroll rolls out right away. There's pressure from Keenan.
Ooh.
There's a flag in the backfield. We're going to have to see who that is. Yeah. Holding
Not sure
on the
what that's gonna
offense.
be here. Yeah.
Holding on the offense. So Carroll's hard work there, not going to pay off. Nick, what can you tell us about Carroll?
You know, he's a real hard worker, right? He came on the JV level. He was something special, and he started in 7th grade. So I think that says a lot about these guys, especially on the varsity level. This is just a great kid, man. He's such a dedicated worker, and he has just an amazing talent with the ball, and he's able to do a lot with the ball in his hands. And we'll also see he's the punter for St. Francis as well.
You see, though, most times when guys punt it, they're lined up back a little more. Yeah, this one, he doesn't really take a step, and St. John the Cross just going to let it go. Not a bad kick at all.
Definitely not.
Yeah, they pin him down inside the 25, but that means that St. John the Cross now has a chance to come back and score again. And that would be very surprising, though, if they have a 2-score lead this early on, just because of the record difference alone. 6-1 versus 2-5, the 2 seed versus the 7 seed, whatever you look at it as. But man, this will be interesting here, how St. John the Cross can close out the first quarter.
Definitely, this defense is going to have to step up because St. John of the Cross is definitely putting in the work here with that massive long touchdown from St. John of the Cross, all the way from, I believe it was their 30. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes here.
Absolutely. All right. Handoff. That's Keenan again. He just got the ball 3 times in a row on their last drive. He's just going to get it again, and this time it pays off, though. Enough for a first down.
Real powerful runner. He could just push through that that defensive line. That offensive line is making a good push. We want to give credit to them because they're definitely setting this St. Francis D-line back.
Definitely. I mean, Nick, you're a lineman yourself now for the Caravan. How does it feel? How's the freshman season going so far?
We're doing good. We're 7-1 right now. We lost to Brother Rice, so that was pretty bitter. But we're hoping we could get the co-champs next week. We're hoping on Ignatius beating Brother Rice, because they're also 7-1 at this time.
Okay. Yeah, I know Loyola's a big game no matter when you play them. So,
Always.
yeah. I also know that you guys have Lane Tech coming up, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's correct,
Yeah.
because Fenwick had to forfeit. Fenwick was forced to forfeit for a lack of players.
All right. Going to be interesting to see. So you got Tuesday night lights here at Barta Dowling, and then Saturday with Loyola. That's a great lineup. Great end of the season. Hopefully Coach Says has some shirts for you at the end there. I always love to see that tradition. All right. Well, as for this game, we're coming up on a minute left in the first quarter. Pretty even so far, but St. John the Cross, they're controlling the tempo, man. They've got their rhythm down. I think they had it down on the car ride here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They're just coming in more confident than this St. Francis team.
Definitely. And you know what? I think that confidence comes from the fact that they have nothing to lose. We talked about this in the first game. Here comes a big run by number 20 for St. John the Cross. We already mentioned him before. That's Max Sella, 7th grader for SJC. That's a big play there, picking up a whole lot of yards and another first down.
And, whenever you see a 7th grader starting on varsity, you know that there's something special, and we could already see it here in this first quarter.
Absolutely. Okay. Coming up now, another 1st and 10 for St. John the Cross. Besides that touchdown, though, this is the first time we've seen them this deep in St. Francis territory. Yeah, this D-line is going to have to hold things down here. There's going to be a lot of open gaps. When you're at this point in the field, passing it is a huge risk. I'd say it's an even bigger risk than by the goal line.
We could see it right there, that run. Looks like the D-line was able to hold that play up there, definitely with some help from the backers.
Griffin Keenan on the run, number 84. Whew, all right. That's the end of the quarter. Time running out, so we're going to flip the field here in just a second. All right, folks, we're back here at Barta Dowling Stadium. Second quarter starting. Griffin Keenan, he's got a lot of green field ahead of him, but there's a few defenders along the way. Won't pick up a first down, though, there. He's got a couple, though.
Strong running play right there. Definitely this offensive line is giving a good push, and these guys are just staying confident. And St. Francis has got to pick up the tempo if they want to stop them in this quarter.
Definitely. Yeah, head coach Mark Monahan, he's done a great job so far. A lot of these plays are impressing me. Griffin Keenan is the centerpiece of this offense, obviously, and I think that's just because of his size. Looking at him, you might think he's a freshman in high school, Nick. I know there might be a couple kids on the team here at Carmel that are smaller than him.
Definitely, and the size is a big point here. Just keep making sure that these guys are big. If this guy is big and he could be productive playing against 7th and 8th graders and he has the size of a freshman, obviously you want to put him in the game and make him an important part of your offense.
Definitely. 4th and 2 coming up. You talk about being an important part of your offense. I mean, this is where you got to show that, right? 2 yards to get a first down in the opponent's right close to their red zone, deep in their country.
Just trying to, you know, make a stand here. Just try to stop this St. John of the Cross offense and hopefully prevent them from putting some more points on the board.
They get him to jump there. Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that so far.
Head coach for St. Francis looking pretty enthusiastic about that one.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll move things back for St. Francis. And in a game where they would hope to be up by now by at least one score, the opposite has happened. They're down by 8 points. That's how they started off the second quarter, but it's certainly not how they want to end it. 8 minutes remain here in the first half. St. John the Cross knocking yet again on St. Francis Xavier's door.
Again, they're being real threatening here, and St. Francis needs to be more disciplined, especially on the line.
There we go. Run right up the middle by Keenan. And this kid just doesn't go down.
No, that's a big fella right there, and he's using his size to his advantage.
Yeah, I was watching him in warm-ups before the game, and I'll say something you're going to notice about him that wherever he goes to high school, the coaches there, what they're going to like is his explosiveness out of the backfield. He takes no time to get out of there, right? It's like his feet are on fire. He wants the ball, and he wants it very quick.
He's definitely a fast runner, strong runner. We talk about the differences between a hard runner and a tough runner, right? A hard runner is just someone who puts their head down and goes, but a tough runner is someone who doesn't go down, and it looks like that's the type of guy that Keenan is.
Right. He's smart. He knows how to avoid defenders, but he also knows when it's time to kind of lower the shoulder and take a hit.
Going to be interesting to see what St. John of the Cross does here. 2nd and 4 in the red zone.
All right. We're going to head into timeout here, though. When we come back, like you said, Nick, we're going to be in the red zone looking for another touchdown. All right, if you look here, we've got our Lawless Award winners for the soccer team, Brandon Razzo, the senior, and Coach Godinez. Congrats to them. I know we have a lot of guys that also won all conference too, but these guys did a great job this season.
Definitely.
All right, Nick, we're back here. 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line for SJC. Well, that's kind of a surprise there. They opt to not give it to Keenan, but it still pays
Looks
off.
like it's going to be a touchdown there.
Number 7, Lucas Fuentes, the 8th grader for St. John the Cross, puts yet another touchdown on the board. And this is the most ideal start they could have had. They are currently shutting out the 2nd-best team in the conference while they are ranked at the 7th.
This is not what anybody expected going into this game. A 6-1 team versus a 2-5 team. St. John of the Cross so far surprising everybody with this 14-0 lead.
Let's see. Yep. They expand that lead a little more. 16-0. 2 touchdowns for St. John the Cross. And you know what, Nick? I'll say it. I mean, we're on upset alert. 2 touchdowns here very early on in the game. St. Francis Xavier beat these guys week 1. We're going to keep talking about it. Score of that one was 36-8. So SJC has already scored more points than they did when they previously lost to these guys.
And that's why this team is, from what we're seeing so far, greatly improved from week 1. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can continue this shutout right here.
Going to keep things rolling on. Coming up, kickoff from SJC. kickoff there. Pretty standard one. Received by number 5 for SFX, Jacob Roman. Breaks free a little more. Down the left hash, he's got one man to beat, and he's going to do so.
Amazing.
It's too late to lock the door.
Execution.
The house is wide open, Nick. Touchdown, SFX. It's a shutout, no more. I'm starting to think we cursed them a little bit there.
That was just an extremely impressive kickoff return right there.
Wow. Great play. Like you said, Nick, that's perfect execution. That's exactly what you need after letting up 2 scores early on in the game. SFX is going to take this momentum, and hopefully for them and their fans, they're just going to keep rolling on with it.
Definitely. We'll see what they could do on defense now.
Right. I mean, take a look at that replay, man. It's, wow.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here with the kick.
Boom. All right. 16-8, right through the uprights.
So
All right,
now
Nick,
it's going to be interesting to see what happens next.
Get back up to the box here. So, Nick, you played for SFX, right? Right now they're down by 8, but it was 16-0, and they were getting shut out. You know these guys, you know these coaches, you know this program. What do you think the vibes are like on the sideline right now?
I think definitely they want to be more confident, right? After that massive kickoff return, I'm sure that the morale is up, right? They just want to make sure that they can keep this rolling, take that momentum from the kickoff, and keep it going into this next defensive drive.
Yeah, we're going to take it back down to the field, but their O-line and D-line is definitely something to look out for. All right, kickoff here. So the same guy that returned it for the kick 6, that's number 5, Jacob Roman. He's going to kick it away again. So SJC taking their time on the return. It's number 20. Seeing a little bit out of him, Max Sella. Oh, okay. 16-8, like we mentioned when we brought it back up here. We'll take a look at what just happened there. So the differences in returns is very drastic. SJC, I mean, kind of slow with it, waiting for the blocks. What I noticed from Jacob Roman for SFX, he went. He did not look for a block. He didn't look for a gap. He was ready to hit somebody. He did. And then when he noticed, he looked down. He was still on his feet. There was nobody in front of him.
I think at that point he realized that there was really nothing to lose at that point, right? SJC, he was being patient, trying to look for these blocks, but it just didn't work out in his favor.
Here we go, run by Keenan. Man, I would put this guy on my fantasy team, Nick. He's gotten the ball. I couldn't even tell you ballpark like 20 times, so far. Maybe that might be a ceiling for him, but wow. They just keep feeding him, and you know what? There's nobody else on the team that's as big as him. There's a couple linemen that are kind of the same size, same height. So, yeah, he can run the ball. We're going to keep talking about him tonight for sure.
But just keep feeding him the ball, and he's just going to keep giving results like that.
Yeah. Nick, I think something else we should mention is kind of the timing of these games. They're staggered by 2 hours, and SFX and SJC, they've got the hottest one, 2 o'clock. Things have definitely heated up since that, I'll call it a morning game, that noon start between MHR and St. Catherine. These guys are used to it, though. They play at parks right in the sunlight all the time.
All the time.
It's very different from Friday Night Lights and things like that. So
this is just every day. This is just another day at the office for these guys. Almost all SEC games are at around this time, so it's going to be, just another day at the office for these guys.
I like the wording of that. Another day at the office. And for Griffin Keenan here, number 84, at the bottom of that dog pile. I think for him, this is certainly, he's been doing this for 7 weeks. So to him, this is nothing, yeah. St. John the Cross, though, they play the winner of St. Mike's and St. Gabe's. That game will be played next. Marty Mann has got the call for that one with me. He'll be the color commentator. But, Nick, thanks for coming up here, man. We're digressing your old school, We're taking a look at their team. It's pretty interesting.
It's always great to come back.
The guy we were just talking about, Griffin Keenan, gets past the 50 and picks up a few more down at the 46-yard line in SFX territory.
Again, that's why he's starting as a 7th grader.
Yeah, I mean, 7th grader. Keenan is an 8th, and Nick, I know what you're saying though. There's a lot of young guys on this team blocking for him and helping him out. Yeah. But right, he by the looks of it, he definitely had a great year last year. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Offense moving downfield. Not much of a gain there. A few yards.
Great reaction by the defense there. Looks like about. So it looked like there was the defense some good hats to the ball, and
Yeah, I know what you mean, Nick. 2nd and 8, 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. 16-8 is the score. They're charging down in SFX territory, and honestly, their defense has been a little flat this first half, but they're looking to change things.
yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. SJC just going to keep pounding them, it looks like, by running that ball.
Yeah. Falcons defense is they just can't stop Keenan. I don't blame them.
Just a big fella, right? And these guys, there's a lot of 7th graders on this defense, and I just don't know if they're ready for someone of his size.
We're going to take a break here, but when we come back, 3rd and 2 for SJC. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here. 16-8 is the score. Just under 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 3. SFX used one of their timeouts. SJC still has all 3 of them.
This has felt like a pretty short half. A lot
Intercepted
of
by
running
the Falcons. Here we go. Number 4 for SFX. Just going to run it out of bounds. That's Jack Rooney, the 8th grader. Attends your former school, St. Mary's, Nick. What do you got to say about your guy?
That's a great kid, right? This is his first year playing football, actually, so I feel like a proud dad watching him get that interception right there.
Okay. Hey, I know the feeling. That's great. All right. 1st and 10 coming up for your team, Nick. This is great.
Definitely.
Let's take a look at that replay, Nick, here. We'll, analyze, obviously, drop back. What I will say is, obviously no discredit to him, but St. John the Cross's quarterback, number 12, Grant Wilczewski, he didn't really have his feet planted when he first threw it. I think he was off balance. He saw he had an open man. That's a big play, though, right there.
I think definitely he got nervous there. Just sometimes when there's pressure and you see that there's an open man, you just want to get that ball to him as quick as you can, but didn't pay off for him there.
It's all right, though. Still got a hefty lead, 8 points. That could change real quick here, though. Look at this. Number 27 for SFX, running back Liam Evans, the 8th grader, attends SFX as well. Just picks it up. The yards after contact is great. Look at this kid. He won't go down. He's like Keenan on the other side of the field, who's actually the guy that just tackled him.
Yeah, Liam's a great player, right? He started last year as a 7th grader, and he's just a hard runner. He's able to get these yards after contact, and it seems like he never goes down. You know, sometimes when I was in practice last year, I felt like I could never tackle him. He's just one of these guys that does not give up.
Absolutely. Here comes Carroll out to the left side. Whoa. Barrel rolls over him. You like to see that aggressiveness from your quarterback. It definitely gets the team going.
No fear for the quarterback there. You know, you'll see most quarterbacks slide there, but no, he just put his head down and ran for that first down.
Yeah, right, Nick. Sliding and all that, right? And in high school, you'll definitely see a lot of aggressive kids that just decide to just take the hit and roll on. Talking about rolling on. That could be another first down. It's pretty close. Yeah, they're calling to move it.
Looks like it's going to be.
Moving the chains is the most important thing you can do in these late half situations. Down by 8 points against a team that you would like to be up by a lot more because of the whole seeding and everything. But it's playoff football. Anything can happen.
Definitely, and they have to be ready for any possibilities here. But if they could score here and go into halftime with at least the game tied up, it would definitely be a good morale booster going into the second half.
Absolutely. All right, timeout taken. When we come back, it's going to be 1st and 10 for SFX.
Would you like to experience what a day with a caravan looks like? Please come down to 6410 South Dante to shadow a current student attending Mount Carmel. Thank you to all of the young men who joined us today. It was great having you on campus. Visit our website to register and learn more.
All right, we're back. This is Carroll here. Going to take the snap for SFX. It's a handoff. Man, we keep seeing this guy a lot, and I'm not surprised by it. That's 27 again, Liam Evans.
Another two-way player who's a big team player, and he's a good contributor to this team.
Absolutely. Offensive-wise is great. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Things moving on real quick.
St. Francis trying to turn this game on its head here if they could tie it up.
That'd be a great way to go into halftime, right? You force, here's a big run, right? If you're down a touchdown and then you score in kind of the last seconds or last minutes heading into halftime, it may be a tie game at the half and going into the third quarter, but you feel like you have so much more momentum and so much motivation to go out there and score yet again if you are receiving the ball.
And definitely a problem that these teams can have, though, is they have this momentum, but when it's halftime, they start to lose it, and that momentum starts to kind of die down. What they got to do is keep positive during halftime and use that momentum to go into the second half.
Right. Here's Carroll. It's a handoff. Not going to get much out of it, though. They might actually lose a yard or two. 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line now. They've got plenty of time and plays. Timeout taken here with 1 minute and 1 second left. Yeah. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and goal, and SFX is going to try to tie this one up.
Mount Carmel will host another open house this fall. Join us on Sunday, October 6th, as well as Sunday, November 17th, to tour our facilities, meet our students, and learn more about the incredible brotherhood of the Caravan. Register at www.mchs.org/visitmc.
Here we go. To tie it up, Carroll rolls out right. Pass incomplete, just threw behind him. Intended for number 4, Jack Rooney.
Looks like that they're going to have, it's going to be 3rd and 6 here. It's going to be, these guys are going to have to lock in here. This is going to be hard to do.
Well, you got 2 chances, but you really want to capitalize on this one.
SJC defense is definitely hardening in the red zone.
Here we go. Carroll hands it off again. Number 27.
Liam Evans.
Exactly, Nick.
Some great blocks for him by the offensive line and the receivers on that right side.
And with an extra point, it'll tie it up. But right now, let's just focus on this 6-point touchdown. I mean, what a play there. 6 points on the board. You were down 16-0. It looked to be a huge possible upset, a huge change in tides from the game that happened in week 1 between these two teams. We're going to take a look here at the replay. But honestly, that's just awesome for Liam Evans. He really showed up here in the second quarter, more so towards the end of the quarter at that.
Definitely.
We're going to take a look here. 52 seconds still remains, so St. John the Cross has a chance to score there. That one almost blocked. It is no good. So it's not going to be a tie game, but it's still going to be a 2-point game. So that definitely shakes things up here. 16-14 heading into the end of the first half. St. John the Cross, let's see, just runs it right in. There's nobody to stop him. St. John the Cross will now receive the ball. They also receive it to start off the second half. So there's 2 opportunities here where they can score back-to-back and regain that 2-score lead they had just moments ago.
So definitely it's going to be interesting to see if the St. Francis defense can stop them from scoring here. But definitely you don't want them scoring at the end of the first half and then at the beginning of the second half, because that'll dig you into a hole that it's going to be hard to get out of.
Definitely. Is that if St. Francis can stop them here and then stop them again to start off the second half, that's more momentum than you need. To kick it away, it's number 5 for the Falcons. Jacob Roman, we saw that kick return touchdown. Now he's going to kick it away.
Another great kick by Roman. It's going to end up out of bounds.
Very smart decision taken. Huge thanks to everybody watching this afternoon. We know there's probably some better football you could be watching right now, but I think it's great these guys are playing. There's something about that Sunday feel in the afternoon, playing a playoff game. It's just, it's got a different feel to it for sure.
Definitely, and it's a big deal for these guys. They're in 7th and 8th grade, and they're getting put on, on TV, and it's very exciting for these guys. I talked to some of them. They're really excited about having the chance to, have people watch them.
Definitely. They're switching over their defense, change the coverage. That's not going to impact their play, though. That's a first down.
Great catch right there.
You got to talk about the pass, too, though. Grant Wilczewski, number 12 quarterback for St. John the Cross, and then that one was caught by number 4, Domenico Lopez. That's a great job, Nick. Yeah.
You could see definitely he has a lot of confidence. They're throwing it into that tight window.
All right, we're back. 47 seconds on the clock. St. John the Cross going to try to make something happen. Wilczewski, pass out to the right side. Little miscommunication there. Was intended for Keenan, but it just wasn't anywhere close.
I definitely don't think this offense should be rushing. They have 44 seconds left, and they're on their 40. So it's gonna be hard. But as long as they don't rush and they don't panic, I think they'll be able to make something out of this.
Right. I think I mentioned that in the first game of the day earlier. St. Catherine was down by only a touchdown, and I said, look, you're heading towards the end of the game, third, fourth quarter. Don't rush through anything. You got plenty of time. Take the time you need. Work the clock in your favor. Because if you do that, you put a touchdown on the board, you're like, good. Now it's tied up. Now we're only down by one score, whatever, at what point in the game. And they did a great job at doing that, but the Raiders came back and scored twice, so it's hard to combat that, yeah.
You just can't rush through anything. Like you said, you just got to be patient, and sometimes coaches can get a little nervous and antsy, and you just have to prevent that from happening.
They're hoping to not get antsy here. 41 seconds left. They're up by 2, but they're looking to get a bigger lead. There we go, little wildcat there. You like to see it.
Brought down by Liam Evans.
Yeah, you like to see that even more. Just scored a touchdown, and now he picks up a sack.
Amazing right there. Just a great push from the defense.
It's awesome. SFX doing a great job on both sides of the ball right now. I think they came out flat. Maybe it was a long car ride for some of these kids. Sunday at 2 o'clock. They needed a little wake-up call, and those 2 back-to-back touchdowns definitely woke them up a little bit.
And I think the nerves play into this too. Most of these guys, I think all of these guys actually have never played a playoff football game.
Wow.
And that can definitely make you nervous.
Yeah, so maybe it's not even the tiredness. Maybe you're too excited, and that causes you to make more mistakes. That's some great analysis, yeah. I got to keep reminding myself, these guys are new to this conference, which it's a very competitive one. So, they're not like MHR, who's been winning gold balls for years. They're different programs, and that's okay. It just makes it a different game for sure. Yeah, we're going to roll on into halftime. First, we're going to bring it back up in the box, though. Nick, right, we're up here. Score heading into the half is 16-14. How much do you think that missed kick for the extra point is going to affect SFX?
I think definitely can come back to bite them. It really depends on how they're going to respond on defense this upcoming drive, right? If you don't let up these points, then it won't come back to bite you. But with that missed kick, it just depends, right? If they would have gone for one, it couldn't have gone. It maybe wouldn't have gone in either. You just have to be prepared for all these different scenarios here.
Right. I think moving on in the future, we've only seen actually today out of either game, we haven't seen a team go for that 1-point conversion. Pretty much after every touchdown, we've seen teams kick it or the 2-point conversion. Right. Little difference in the rules, but that's how it goes for grammar school football, Nick. It's halftime right now. These guys are warming up. We're just going to take you back onto the field, and we'll meet you back in about 9 minutes. That's good. I don't know why I'm looking at you, but...
This
And the
is
Crow
felt
hands
like
it
a
off
pretty
again.
short
Has it
half.
for the first
Number
time.
four,
Intercepted
wide
by
open.
the
Whoa.
Falcons.
Here
We
we
go.
go.
Number
Running.
4 for
That's number
SFX. Just
82
gonna run it out
for
of bounds.
St.
John the Cross. Jackson picks up 6 points early on.
This has felt like a pretty short half. A lot
Intercepted
of
by
running plays.
the Falcons. Here we go. Number 4 for SFX. Just gonna run it out of bounds. Ladies and gents, we're back here. It's the start of the second half between St. Francis Xavier and St. John the Cross. At one point in this game, it was a shutout, 16-0 for SJC. Eventually, the Falcons from SFX came back, and now it's a 2-point game, one-score game. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's a close one here. And to start off the second half, SFX is looking to continue the momentum and the wave of motivation they caught in the second quarter. And SJC is just looking to get a lead. Nick, what do you think your team, your alma mater, I know you went to St. Mary's but played for SFX, what can they do now? They just stopped SJC late in the second quarter. Now their defense is to come back out there again and do the same thing.
I think definitely these guys are going to have to, work a little bit harder, right? Because in the first half they were slacking on defense, and I think this is going to play a.
All right. Apologize for that. Some technical difficulties. St. John the Cross, late in the second quarter, they had an opportunity to get an even bigger lead than the one they've had. They've held the lead the entire game, 16-0, 16-8, now 16-14. If they can get a touchdown here, and it seems like they're pretty good with their kicking game, if they can put 2 points on after that 6. Ball is loose.
Oh.
SFX has it. Never mind. I just spent the past 30 seconds talking about the possibilities SJC had in store to take a bigger lead. But now SFX's offense can come back out there and take the first lead they've had all game. They're very close to the red zone. Not quite there, but, man, that is impactful.
Just like we were talking about before the half ended, carrying that momentum into the second half and staying confident, right? With just having that confidence and that momentum, I think it's good that these guys were able to punch that ball loose first play of the second half.
Here we go. We're going to keep things down here. That is the perfect way to start off the second half. Carroll, pressure right away, breaks free from it, not even going to try to throw it now. Out to the left side, he's brought down by number 7 of St. John the Cross, Lucas Fuentes, 8th grader. We've seen a lot out of him tonight on the defensive side of the ball. We've seen even more out of Carroll on the offense. Definitely.
And he made something out of nothing right there. Maybe it was only a yard or two, but since that's shown that he's able to do that, is going to give a big boost to this offense, especially now that they're creeping into SJC territory.
Absolutely. There's Carroll and Evans in the backfield. I mean, that's a pretty powerful group. They're going to change formation here. Evan moves out to the left side now. They're going to bunch up those 3 receivers. Looking to be a pass. You can never count out the possibility of either Evans or Carroll running it, though. How about number 5?
There we go. Could it be another touchdown for him?
Jacob Roman. Is he going to get in? Yes, he does. The first lead SFX has had all day.
Definite. That's going to be just huge heading in, starting the second half with the kickoff return touchdown for him. And now that running touchdown, this is a big momentum shifter. And from the start of it, looking like it was 18-0. Now it looks like these guys are going to have some, just giving them the lead, it's going to give a lot of momentum. And these guys are going to be able to ride that momentum, hopefully, and win this game.
I mean, think about it this way. It was 16-0. St. John the Cross, a 2-5 program, had all the motivation and momentum in the world, right? It definitely looked like they were going to head into halftime with a 3-4 score lead. And then out of nowhere, SFX fought back mostly on the defensive side of the ball, as you saw earlier on in that drive. Their kick was just blocked, so that's the second block kick of the day, which means they're going to stick at 20. So instead of it being a 6-point lead, it's just a 4.
But no matter what, how much they're leading by, just now that they're leading, that changes this game completely. Going down from 16-0 now to 20-16. I don't think anybody expected that after that second touchdown from SJC.
I think that's the reason why they're 6-1. That's the reason why in multiple games they've gone on to come back and had these big wins. Well, look, I mean, week one, we've talked about that game for a while. When SFX and SJC first played each other this season, SFX won 36-8. We've obviously talked about that. But we also talked about this in the noon game between Redeemer and Catherine, 40-28. So St. Francis Xavier scored 28 points against the best defense in the conference, which is the Raiders from MHR.
And I think definitely that's going to be that's just a testament to how good this offense is and how effective they can be. Now it's time to see what they could do on defense here.
Yeah, some of their notable scores from their past season. Week 6, so 2 weeks ago, SFX won 35-0 over St. Catherine.
I mean, I think that just this again, both sides of the ball on this team are so strong. And, you know, it's easy to count them out when they were losing like that in the beginning of this game. But now, I mean, it's kind of looking like they might win this game. You know, I know it's very early to call that, but it's looking good for the Falcons right now.
It's a fake pass. Wrap around reverse. SFX late to realize what just happened. There were a couple of guys in the backfield still trying to attack the quarterback. That's number 20 for SJC on the run, Mac Sella.
Yeah, so I think that they have a really strong run game, you know, from what we've seen. And the passing game, you know, I don't really know what to say about that. There haven't been any passing touchdowns for them yet. Also that interception. But it looks like they just got to run the ball, and that's how they're successful.
Here we go. Usually they're going to use Keenan in situations like this. 2nd and 4. Called it.
Exactly what they did there.
Stuck in the backfield,
looks like the
though.
Falcons were able to stuff that one up.
So, yeah, stuck in the backfield. You hear that cowbell ringing. And,
yeah, you know, I think that with a team like this, there can be some, you know, there can be some gaps. You know, maybe they got too confident. You know, you can never read somebody's mind. But I feel like that what's going on here can be, you know, just attributed to just some nervousness from these guys, right? Again, this is a team that, big hit right there.
yeah, who is that, Nick?
Big hit right there from number 5, Jacob Roman.
Yeah, big hit there. It was Keenan on the run. Great play, great physical, aggressive play.
Always love to see that on a grammar school level.
All right, here we go. 4th and 5. Got to make up for it. If they don't get this, then momentum will shift even more in SFX's direction. Here we go. Motion Keenan out of the backfield. They drop back for a pass. It's a high one. Nobody there. Incomplete. Turnover on downs.
Good coverage by the defense right there. Just some good movement and just making sure that that ball doesn't go anywhere and having that quarterback be just nervous in the pocket, right? Just making sure that that coverage is too tight for him and him not being able to make a play out of that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Nick. It was an interesting pass for sure. He kind of threw it into open field. He was, that was Keenan, and the intended receiver, but he was in double coverage. I really don't think if the ball got to his hands, it would have stayed there, you know?
No, you know, I think that earlier, maybe in the first half, they had a better, that it looked like that same play happened earlier in the first half, if I recall, and it was a catch in that contested window of double coverage, but it just didn't work out this time.
Late substitution there. Carroll motions over a receiver, rolls out left for the run.
And off to Evans.
That's a great design because I think Carroll has the option there on whether or not he wants to hand it off to Evans. There's a lot of things you can run out of that formation, and no matter which way you go, right, weak side, strong side, Evans or Carroll, no matter who's running it, I think you'll get at least, you know, a few yards.
Yeah, and definitely, I think Carroll knows that Evans is is a tough guy and that he's going to be able to push through that defense harder than most other guys. So I think that definitely plays into when he's thinking about what he's going to run on that option. So it's going to be interesting to see what they run here on 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Carroll. He's going to keep it. Tries to roll out of the backfield, gets tripped up a little bit, eventually brought down. He hung on to the ball, though.
I believe no. Looks like no gain on the play.
All right, Carroll going to stick back out there. So no loss, but no gain either. 3rd and 5. You do not want to make it 4th and 5. That was the situation SJC was just in. Evans brought down
in the backfield.
Hangs on to the ball. It's a good thing he didn't lose it because it was caught up there in between 2 players.
Nothing they could do about that there. That
Wow.
was just a great defensive push. And, you know, even though that was looks like a miscommunication, you still got to give credit to Evans for holding on to that ball because that could have easily been a scoop and score for SJC all the way down the field.
Definitely. Here we go. Carroll back out there again. So now you lose a yard. Instead of 3rd and 5, it's now 4th and 6th.
But I think you have nothing to
6.
lose here. If you punt it, then it's just probably going to go into the back of the end zone. And if you go for it and you don't make it, then SJC is still going to be deep in their own territory.
Carroll rolls out right. Big pass. Complete.
Caught.
1st down and more. Pushed out of bounds.
Great catch right there in a narrow window between the defender and the out of bounds. So I think that's definitely just a great execution, great pass, and great catch.
That's a connection between Carroll and Charlie Evans. There must be some relation there between Liam and Charlie. They've been making plays, though, all day. Liam more so in the backfield, and then Charlie out there being a receiver.
Definitely with that catch and 4th down, that's going to be a crucial play that SJC might be looking at later.
Carroll going to keep it, runs out left. Never mind, checks back right. He's got the blocks for it, but, man, props to number 71 there for St. John the Cross, Griffin Fox.
That's some escape artistry right there.
Yeah.
Just he realized that when he was going left, there wasn't enough room there, not enough blocks. But he went right and was able to get a few more yards out of it.
Absolutely. Four minutes, 50 seconds remain. 2nd and 6. They're trying to get to that 4-yard line. Carroll dodges pressure. It's a high one. Is it complete? No.
I'm not sure.
They want the touchdown.
Coaches for St. Francis are signaling a touchdown. They think that it was a touchdown. But from here, I don't believe. Looked like that wasn't a touchdown from up here.
Let's take a look at it. It was an interesting play, but, you know, there's some confusion going on. The coaches really thought it was one. We've got the replay here. So he dodges pressure right there, throws. It's a high one back of the end zone. I think he got 1 foot.
I just don't think he had 2 feet in there.
Yeah. Overall, he might have been out of bounds altogether. It was an interesting one. Carroll, same play here now. He's definitely inbounds. It's going to be a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play, so we're going to have to look back at that. If this does stand, which doesn't look like it will, number 4, Jack Rooney, will have a touchdown on the day.
So he's going to be holding on the offense there. So that'll bring him back, and that will not help. It's going to be 3rd and 16 now, which is not looking good for the Falcons.
What could have been 6 points is now just moving you back even further. 3rd and 16, yeah, immediately looking for a pass. I don't blame him. Carroll slings that out to the left. Touchdown, Falcons! And they extend their lead even further.
Amazing
over St. John the
execution.
Cross. They were down 16-0. 26 unanswered points here in the 3rd quarter.
Just an amazing pass right there.
Let's take another look at it. right after that big penalty. Pass out to the left side, right over the defender. That was perfect ball placement. Number 27, Liam Evans, picks up yet another touchdown on the day.
Oh, fumble
Yeah,
snap there.
That one's blocked. It was blocked again, though. These guys are definitely struggling with their kicking game.
Looks like
I'm
there's gonna be
surprised they
a-
lined up to kick it. I for sure thought they would have gone for just that one point.
There's definitely been
Yeah.
some struggles here, but it looks like there's a flag.
Yeah, there's a flag anyway. I think that's a horse collar, or they'll call something, but that's definitely against SJC.
Definitely not the result they wanted.
Mhm.
Even though they have 26 unanswered points, it would be, I believe, 30 if they were able to convert those 2 extra points.
Yeah, so I mean, now they get another chance. I'd be shocked if they kick it though, because that's 3 kicks in a row.
It's just
where
not
pressure
working.
comes in. Yeah,
Just not working for him here.
I really don't. It's not one man's fault. I think it's just kind of the unit together.
I think just some pressure when kicking. And it's grammar school football, right? Kicking is not the main priority.
No,
But
that's why it's
still.
worth 2 points, right? Yeah,
It's going to be interesting to see what they run here.
they just talked. Okay, here we go. So now they'll be up at the 2. And they're going to kick this again. I am a little surprised, but
I am quite confused at why they're doing this, but who knows? Maybe it'll pay off this time.
number 5, Jacob Roman, he gets the kick off, and it is
It's
good. So it
good.
did pay off, yeah.
Did pay off there.
I for sure thought they would have gone for it, but they know what they're doing. 28-16, real big lead here for SFX. That's 28 unanswered points on today's game, the 2 o'clock slate. Overall, Nick, that's amazing for SFX for them to come back
SFX has
from that
just
deficit. Yeah.
flip this game on its head here.
All right, Nick. We're going to keep talking about it. But you used to play for SFX.
Yes, I did.
And you said that this is really the first year they found success. Do you think that the fact that this is the first season they found success like this in the SEC, did that give them kind of a boost when they were down by 16 points?
I definitely think they did. I think they realized that at this point, when you're down by 16 points, you can't let this go to waste. You can't let this big opportunity go to waste. You're 6-1. This is your first year in the SEC that you've really had some success, so they didn't want to go to waste, and that gave them the extra motivation they needed.
Absolutely. Well, they're back on defense, so they're not going to let this opportunity go to waste either. We're going to take you back down on the field. That return was pretty decent, but they're still going to be in their own territory. At the 35-yard line, St. John the Cross takes over. All right, St. John the Cross. Let's see who they put at quarterback. Yeah, a little wildcat going on. I mean, that's number 20, Max Sella. He's an overall athlete.
Not sure
Takes the
exactly
snap.
what the plan is here.
Goes to the right, just kind of
And
jersey
that
tackled right away.
Didn't
yeah.
really work out there. Don't know if we'll be seeing that again.
All right, here we go. SJC looking to score again. They haven't since before halftime.
It's going to be interesting to see what they can do here. I think that they are losing confidence, but I don't think you can let that happen, right?
Definitely.
You just can't. You got to keep your head up in these situations and just not give up and not, concede. Even when you're down like this, you can't concede. You just got to keep working, right? Because anything can happen.
Oh, man, here we go. Yeah, they're back to their usual formation. Keenan in the backfield, and then number 12, Grant Wilczewski at
Looks
quarterback.
like this Falcons defense is picking it up now. after that last touchdown.
We keep talking about momentum, you know, and at any level in any sport, there's going to be momentum. I've got Leonard Siegel right next to us, our main producer. He's a wrestler, and he can tell you that momentum. Look, how many minutes do you get to wrestle, Len? Yeah, you get 6 minutes to wrestle, right? How much does the momentum change in those 6 minutes? It's back and forth all the time. You know, you could be with 5 minutes to go. You feel like you're about to pin the kid, and then 2 minutes later, you're like, whoops, I'm down by 10 points.
Intercepted!
I'm yapping up here. SFX is just having the game of their lives. That's number 4 for SFX, Jack Rooney, intercepted by the Falcons. Not only do they have 28 unanswered points on the board right now, they pick up yet another defensive turnover, a huge play. I mean, Nick, what do you got to say?
I mean, now, after that interception, yet again, another interception that allows them to now be in St. John of the Cross territory.
Oh, man.
So I think that definitely they're going to be able to capitalize off of this. Just how this offense is rolling right now, I think that they're just going to have the confidence now, especially after that. These guys that are playing both ways are going to have that extra boost of momentum to help them score here.
Right. Let's take a look at that replay again if we could. I just want to point something out. It's just a little high, and we've broadcasted, this is the second game today. In the first one as well, I noticed that these quarterbacks are just throwing a little higher than their target. And I think that makes sense. When you're developing as a QB, that's going to happen. This one, bomb into the end zone, tipped, not caught though. Almost recovered. I think that's Liam Evans, number 27. Ah, man.
Looks like it was dived for after it was dropped. But
yeah, that would have been yet another, but wow. 28-16, still the score. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it looks like that St. Francis isn't getting too shaky right now. But with this lead, another thing, when you're down and when you're high, you just can't get too excited, right? If it's, getting nervous or if it's getting like overly confident, you can't let any of these things get to you. You just got to play football.
Just got to play football, Nick. I like that. Yeah. First round of the playoffs, that's probably what a lot of these coaches today are going to be telling their kids.
Definitely.
All right, we're back at it. SFX trying to score again. You can't do that.
Nope. Flags fly.
These refs have that flag for throwing formation down. When we're back up here in the press box, I'll show you the right way to do it. I went to ref school. You just, you got that little part that you're supposed to hold on to when you throw it, and you just fling that thing up in the air.
Little flick right there. And credits to the refs for spotting that early and just putting an end to that.
I've seen a couple of those today. 2 minutes, 16 seconds remain in the third quarter. SFX just trying to hold on to this lead that they've only had for a few minutes on the game clock, but we're going to keep rolling on here. Carroll, pass out to the left. Incomplete.
Gonna be 2nd and 10 here now.
I'd say so far in today's games, these quarterbacks, if they're not hitting their guy on the numbers, they're most likely overthrowing them, so too high, or they're throwing it behind them. And I think those are the two most common ways to miss your target, to miss your receiver in stride. So I'd say Carroll here. He's definitely impressed me, though. Out of the 4 starting quarterbacks I've seen today in these 2 games, these 2 playoff games, he's shown I think the most matureness. He seems extremely comfortable in the pocket, and when he has to leave, when he has to scramble out and run the ball, he's aggressive. He takes that patience and confidence, and he turns it into just full aggression down the field.
Definitely. And I think, like you said earlier, just maturing as a quarterback can be difficult for these guys. But, mistakes happen, and you just got to go on to the next play, have a short memory. It's going to be caught.
Is this going to be another one? Yes, it will.
It is.
Wow. 34 unanswered points. SJC got to be feeling down after that one. SFX feeling real up high.
Looks like it's going to St. John is going to have to turn it. It's going to be desperation time for him here. This is something's going to have to change here pretty quickly, or else this is going to turn into a huge mess.
Wow. Well, St. John the Cross, they controlled this game in the first quarter. They absolutely had the tempo, the rhythm, the chemistry, all of it. They had everything down. And when you talk about the three aspects of football, offense, defense, and special teams, they were winning all three of those. And now I think SFX is just killing it in definitely two of those three categories.
Definitely.
Yeah, I say 2 out of 3 just because they're struggling a bit with their extra point squad. That one is blocked again. So that's 3 blocked kicks, not counting the one that was blocked with the penalty, though. So
and that's going to happen, right? Like I said earlier, special teams in grammar school football isn't a thing that is gone over much, but it's still true in grammar school. Special teams does win games. So if St. Francis wasn't putting up this many points, it could be completely different because of that special teams play.
Absolutely. All right, we're back here. We were about to kick. And then some confusion here on the SFX sideline. So they're going to take a timeout. We'll bring you back up in the box, though. Nick, back up here. Third quarter, minute 31 left. I mean, Nick, you and I love football.
Yes,
we love
do.
football. We watch all levels, high school, college, and the pros. But for there to be 34 unanswered points in a grammar school game, do you think that's more so SFX rallying and really pushing themselves, or is that SJC kind of falling behind the mark and just not playing that great?
I think definitely St. Francis has been pushing themselves and rallying, but also SJC, you can see in their play that they're showing signs of slowing down, and that's something that you really don't want to happen. But you add on St. Francis really rallying themselves and bringing themselves onto this, it creates just a mix that ends up giving us those 34 unanswered points.
Absolutely. Well, we're back here for kickoff now. There was a little interesting timeout. We'll bring it back down on the field here where SFX is getting ready to kick off. SJC looking to return and hopefully for themselves and their fans score. If they turn it over again, that's going to be a real bad look, and I think team morale, it's going to hit a breaking point. All right. Minute 26. We're coming up in the fourth quarter. The Falcons, man, 34 unanswered points, 34-16. Wow.
Yeah, this is I don't know if I've ever seen something like this in a grammar school game.
It's very impressive. I got to say it's impressive,
Especially them being down 16-0, and then now they're up 34-16.
Oh, yeah. They're telling them to flip, so something's going on with the rush here. Maybe he shouldn't have flipped. Keenan went the other way. It doesn't matter, though. The Falcons do a great job wrapping him up, and holding him there at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Again, this defense has definitely been waking up in the second half. More so, that defensive line too having a good push, and the first half was all right for that defense, but now I think they're definitely showing why they're the number 2 seed in this conference.
Exactly, Nick. The number 2 team. I mean, what was your guys' record last year?
0-9.
0-9.
Yes.
You went from going 0-9, missing the playoffs. You got to, I mean, those questions arise, right? Where it's like, man, like what's next year going to look like? We'll probably go 0-9 again. But no, I mean, I think it's got to be this new group of 7th graders and maybe these 8th graders developing over the offseason that's pushed them to go 6-1 in the regular season. That's incredible.
And I think there's definitely been some culture changes within the team that's also contributed to this. And definitely just these 8th graders taking a leadership role, right? Really, that's not something that happened last year. But now this year, them taking a leadership role, it's definitely showing here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's got to be a different comparison. But my freshman year of high school, a few years ago, when the Caravan went 8-4, their varsity football team, something felt missing. And then next year we went undefeated 14-0, and I realized the missing piece was that, sure, we have juniors that are very talented and skilled, but they needed to be the leaders of the team. Once they were the leaders and once they were fully developed, 14-0 was our record for that year.
Exactly. Just sometimes, you don't have to be a senior. You don't have to be a captain. You don't have to be an 8th grader to be a leader, right? But some guys are, they don't know that. And it's hard for them to realize that, hey, I could be a leader and I could help us.
34-16 is the score after 3 quarters of play. SFX is just looking to keep Ramble on, and they're looking to extend their lead over SJC. All right, folks, we're back here on the field. We flipped it, changing quarters, so we're down here now. SJC got a lot of room to go.
Final quarter.
Oh, you got to like that reverse.
And it's not looking good for SJC right now.
I mean, Nick, I'll be honest, it hasn't been looking great for them since the end of the first quarter, right? They had that 16-0 lead, and I was thinking, man, this could be a huge upset, right? A 2-5 team beating a 6-1 team that has just been rolling over teams the past few weeks to end off the regular season. But nope, SJC just wasn't able to capitalize here in the second quarter, but especially in the third.
I just thought that was, at that point I was thinking, this game was going to go the opposite of how I thought it would be. And now it looks like that it's going to be just how everyone thought it would be. St. Francis really showing why they're the number 2 seed.
Exactly. They are playing the winner of the St. Mike's versus St. Gabe's game, which will be played next at 4 o'clock. So it's going to be a very interesting comparison between all 4 teams, really. But right now, St. Francis Xavier has just they've shown up for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't think they showed up 100% ready, but it took them some time to get settled in. And, man, once I saw that, they were good.
Sometimes you just got to warm up, right? You can be nervous, you could be anything, but once you're warmed up and you get in your zone, that's when you shine.
Carroll threw that one there. And then not much happened, but that's huge, right? You flip the field to change the quarter, and then now you find yourself in the red zone.
again, just some great productive offense from the Falcons here. And it keeps looking like it's going to be just, maybe another touchdown, put some more points on the board. Just as long as they don't turn this over, it looks like it's going to result in something good for the Falcons.
Definitely. Here comes Evans. Liam coming back, finds the outside and hits it. He was running that to the right, hit the gap he was supposed to. And then that's what I talk about football IQ, though. High school coaches are going to love that about Liam Evans. He hits the gap, and he finds the open space. He knows exactly where it is. He's got great footwork as well. Quick kid, both physical but also up there in the mental game.
And that's exactly showing why he is one of the biggest running back prospects in the class of 2029. All these high schools looking at him. He actually just had a shadow day here and visited practice a couple weeks ago. And, he's just a big deal for everybody, right? And this kid is just such a good football player. He's just sensational. It's amazing to watch him.
I'll tell you what, it's sensational to watch the run game for SFX, but the kicking game today, that one looks to be good. I'm glad they finally got it down, but that was about 4 kicks. One of them, there was a penalty involved. The other 3, though, they were rough. So they got it down now, though. 42-16 is the score.
St. Francis picking it up.
On the cross, opts to pass. Hands it off again.
This has felt like a pretty short half. A lot
Intercepted
of
by
running
the Falcons. Here we go. Number 4 for SFX. Just going to run it out of bounds. All right, folks, we're back out here. A couple of substitutions. St. John the Cross, though. Here we go. Keenan out to the left. Will eventually get pushed out of bounds there by number 17 for SFX. It's Charlie Evans. Some relation there to Liam, I guess.
Again, some great movement by Keenan. Just riding his blocks and the sideline.
Exactly. All right, well, I'll tell you what. If the SFX defense can get another stop here, then, I mean, that's really it, right? There's no chance. But grammar school football, playoffs, there's about 7 minutes to go. If St. John the Cross can get something going here, if their defense can step up and just start pushing the ball and trying to force some turnovers, then you never know, man.
I mean, you never know, but from the looks of it right now, it looks like this is going to be a pretty hard game to get back from.
Oof. Brought down there, that's number 11 for St. John the Cross, Dylan Winnis.
Just looks like he wasn't able to do that. Just a good push from the defensive line, and there was just a lot of resistance on the offensive line. Couldn't hold it up right there.
(42-16), under that 6-minute mark, coming up on the close of our second broadcast and second game of the day here at Barta Dowling Stadium. Folks, if you're interested in some more football like this, stay tuned. We've got the 3 seed St. Michael's versus 6 seed St. Gabe's. That'll start at 4 o'clock.
We got a good day of football.
Run up the middle again. That's Weenus again. Yeah, I mean, we can.
Just some more good play, some good running play from the St. John of the Cross.
Definitely. You know, when we look at this year, who played last season versus who didn't, I think it's pretty obvious the guys with more experience really showed up today for both St. John the Cross and St. Francis Xavier. But Griffin Keenan, the 8th grader who played last year, he dominated that first quarter, man. And I think if they want to start a comeback or maybe at least put a few more scores on the board, he's going to be the guy to go to. Jackson Garbars picks it a first down up and more.
I mean, I think at this point, really, you just playing for pride. You want to get some of these 8th graders in.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, you could run out the ball, but I like the fact that they're still staying in there and treating it like it's a close game.
Definitely. You really can never give up. Even when it's almost impossible to come back from something like this, you never give up, and you always treat it like it's a tie game.
There we go, Nick. 4 minutes left. Clock is running down.
See what's going to happen here.
Handoff, that's number 24, Charlie Winnis.
Brought down again.
All right, Nick, here we go. Close of the game. Thanks for coming up here today, man. I appreciate it. As a SFX football alum, this has got to be pretty good to announce for your own team, right?
And it's like a dream come true. For a long time, I've always wanted to be a part of Caravan Media Group, and now I get to commentate my former team. This is just a real special thing I'm doing right now. So I'm really happy you gave me the opportunity to do this.
Of course, man. Yeah. I'm real glad we hosted these playoffs today.
It's always great to showcase these youth players
Yeah.
who are going to be the people, who are going to be the players that we're going to see in the next couple years, especially on Friday nights.
I remember when we hosted the All-Star game 2 years ago, I believe now. There were a couple of guys on there where they shadowed the Friday before the game. I think the game was on a Saturday. I can't really remember exactly, but they shadowed that Friday, and I got to meet some of them, and now they're students here at Carmel. So there's definitely a line of progression here. These kids are getting ready to make a big jump, both for their sport, obviously, but for school as well, Nick, you can think back a year ago. You had that purple and yellow uniform on playing for the Falcons. Now you got the brown and white for the Caravan. So that's how the story goes for a lot of kids growing up in this area.
Just a progression.
Talk about progression. These guys progressing toward the end zone more and more. That one's swatted away, kind of. Yeah.
Thought that one might be picked off there, but still, it was, well,
Yeah.
some good.
It was close. Yeah.
It was good ball placement, but I just don't think the receiver was ready for that.
Right. Coming down to the wire. Minute left. 4th and 7, though. This will be the last time SJC has the ball, so they better make this play worth it if they want to get a few more off to close the game out.
That's for sure.
See a lot of these guys today wearing pink, whether it's gloves or, really any other pieces of equipment that's for breast cancer awareness. I saw Friday night when we played at Fenwick, that was their theme, was to wear pink, and they definitely did it.
Oh,
I think every single kid in that student section had pink on, and it was a really cool sight because, man, it was a packed game,
That was that was a great game to watch.
Yeah, we went out there. Leonard and I, our producer today for all these games, he took some photos, and then I was down there doing some social media updates. Overall, great game. It started off a little shaky, but I think it usually does. I'm kind of surprised by it. Not really. I can't explain why, but under Coach Lynch, we seem to come out flat, and especially in the first quarter. Not so much flat, but we're not playing to our full potential. But we definitely played up to our full potential later on in the game.
In the beginning of some of these games, it can be hard.
Yeah, I think the same goes for these guys. SFX came out today, did not score in the first quarter. We're down 16-0 to St. John the Cross, who they beat earlier in the season. SJC is a 2-6 team. SFX 7-1. Heading on next week, they'll play at St. Lawrence High School. The 6 o'clock game on Sunday, October 27th. They're going to play the winner between St. Mike's and St. Gabe's, which is actually the matchup we have coming up in about 15 minutes. Folks, thank you for watching. It's been Nick and Matt from up here in the press box, man. Have a great day, Chicago.